Hey guys, I miss you. I hope you're doing well. Honestly, I think one of the hardest parts about this month is that just miss seeing you guys every day. So I wanted to make a video given the most recent announcement that dropped today. So we are on Tuesday, December 8th in the great year known as 2020. Inslee's announcement today came out today that the lockdown is getting extended at least 3 more weeks, which pushes us to Monday, January 4th. So first off, no, I don't have a crystal ball, but it just kind of reinforces the decision we made as a business to say, hey, in November, we're going to stay open 6 extra days. We're going to get Hero Weekend. We're going to end on a high note. We're going to shut down for December. We're going to reopen in January. We're going to allow you to pick your own rate for December and rent out all the equipment, et cetera, et cetera. I think looking back on it, Inslee's announcement today just reinforces that that was the best decision we could have made, was to do what we decided to do for the rest of 2020. It's not that I'm excited about that, but hey, we did call his action plan. Along with that, just kind of want to do this video to give you an update of here's what we're working on. So does this mean the gyms are guaranteed to open Monday, January 4th? No, not at all. Could this get extended further? I would say history has told us yes, that has been a very, very consistent pattern. And that's not me throwing shade at the governor. That's just looking at how this trend has gone on. So prepared for what that's going to look like, and a couple things that we're working on to prepare for that. Number one, I want to do everything we possibly can to get open in January. If that can be January 4th, fantastic. If that has to push another week or two, I'm not sure yet, to be perfectly transparent. But here's what I am working on. Number one, talking with insurance companies. So our insurance is about up. We're speaking with 3 at the moment that, fortunately, just being, I think, connected and heavily involved in this industry, I've got contacts with really good insurance companies that take care of gyms like us, and doing some shopping around, just saying, hey, here's what our state mandate is. I want to know if you'll back us if we open early. I want to know if you'll back us if we end up needing to reestablish as a wellness center. I want to know what our liabilities are, because at the end of the day, and I feel like I've said this before, but I need to say it again, the biggest risk is honestly, there's many, but one of the biggest ones out there is if you're a gym and you're not operating the way that you're supposed to be, whether that's against a state mandate or you didn't classify, what type of business you are and you're going to reopen a different way. If you do something that insurance looks at and says, no, you operated illegally, you're not covered. And that's a massive risk. That not only, obviously puts me at great financial risk, it puts the entire business and the entire gym and everything you guys love about it at risk, meaning like it would empty our pockets to a point where we won't ever be able to recover from that. If we did get somebody hurt or sick, or we got sued and we weren't covered because we were operating something that wasn't exactly the way it was supposed to be, that's a really big risk. So to those gyms that are open and doing that, obviously I'm sure they're aware of that, but that's their call, and I'm not going to judge them if that's what they got to do. That's what they got to do. More power to them. But we're not at a point where I'm ready to put that at risk. That's just the raw truth. So I have had a lot of people ask, hey, what about this wellness center thing that seems to be popping up? There's some gyms saying that they're wellness centers now and trying to stay open because they're a wellness center and no longer a gym. Have you looked into that? The answer is yes. I've got to speak with 3 different owners, and one that's local, 2 that are not. This is just me kind of sharing very, very transparent, but very honest communication with you guys. There's a few things to note with that. There is not clarity from the state on what it actually constitutes a gym being reclassified as a wellness center. There are wellness centers that have been open for multiple decades, longer than I've been alive, and they're classified differently, and they're technically open right now. There's a lot of gyms, though, that recognize, okay, well, we're no longer a gym, we're a wellness center, and there's some gyms that, to be perfectly transparent, all they're doing is changing their name and maybe filing a DBA, do business as, with the Secretary of State, that allows you to operate under a different name or a DBA name. If that's all you're doing, I don't think the state's going to hold that up. I don't think insurance will hold that up. I'll just think they say, well, you freaking slapped a sticker on it and didn't do anything else. some of the gyms I talked to in Central Washington, that was essentially the impression I got. I don't think that's a smart move, to be perfectly honest. I still think that puts you at just as much risk of getting fined, not being insured, blah, 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 blah. So there are some gyms, however, that are taking it steps further than that are saying, okay, we're going to do a DBA with the Secretary of State as if we were ABC Fitness. We're now ABC Fitness Wellness Center. They're doing that step. And they're also looking at what wellness centers offer that gyms don't typically offer and seeing if that's enough for the state to at least back off for a little while, for lack of a better term. So most wellness centers have either a contracted or, in-staff, in-house, some form of a physical therapy or an occupational therapy or a nurse practitioner or a dietitian. Some have chiropractors. There isn't a clear line as to this is clearly what constitutes you as a wellness center. If you used to be a gym, here's what you need to add. But you can at least look at what wellness centers offer and say, okay, I think we could do that. So am I looking into that? Absolutely. Here's what I want to kind of say with that, as there's going to be some gray area. Some things I don't want to change and I'm really not willing to change is our member experience. We've got a great gym. We've got a great brand. We've got a great business. We have a really good model. I don't want to change what we're doing operationally, but if it means temporarily or even potentially long-term, we need to add some things. We're like, okay, everybody, we're Rewired Fitness Co. that is also Rewired Wellness Center. We also have multiple other names, by the way, that we legally operate under. All of those are insured. We're going to have you sign some waivers that cover us for all of those names. We're going to have you do a yearly or maybe every 6-month wellness check that we keep on file. We're going to hire this physical therapist and or chiropractor that is going to work this way, where essentially they're available if you need them, but if you don't, then they're never going to get in your way as far as a Rewired member goes. We're looking into that. If that's actually going to get us there and we get to talk to an insurance company and they're like, yep, that'll totally work, we're good to go, I think it's a long shot, to be perfectly transparent. I think it's something we're going to look into. I think it's something that we might need to temporarily do and be able to off-ramp down the road. Or we might say, actually, you know what? Having this physical therapist available for members, on a monthly basis where they come in and like anybody that needs to work with a PT, so-and-so is going to be here, at these times, or they're going to call you if you've, check something on your wellness checkup that said that you got in a car accident recently and you need to go work with a PT. I'm not opposed to looking into that at all. Do I think that is a bulletproof plan? No, I really don't. But it would come down to, is the state actually going to look at that and say, that's fine? And is insurance going to look at that and say, we'll still cover you? Those would be two big questions. And the answers are hard to get, to be perfectly honest. The other thing that I think is just a reality is the amount of gyms that are now trying to reestablish as wellness centers. It's going to raise red flags, without a doubt, with the state. So is the state going to come out and say, okay, no gyms can switch over to wellness centers, moving forward, or any gyms that switched over recently, we're going to do an audit? Like, that's probably a reality. And that's okay. That's the way it is when you play, when you do business in Washington. There's a lot of red tape. So I share that with you guys to say we're looking into some options. I still think our initial decision was the best one. On top of that, really freaking miss you guys. Want to start putting out some more content for you. So I look forward to, seeing you virtually, but miss you guys. I know this is a super stressful season. I know this is not easy. My heart goes out to everybody that's struggling with this. I love you. I hope that we can get back together sooner than later. I'll say that. Our plan right now is we are looking forward to January. So there we go. Comments, concerns, questions, you can always hit me up. Hope you guys are doing well. Good night.